Welcome back to Diving Into Watches. Today we are going to finish up episode 2 of building the Willard clone off of an Addidive case and an NH35 movement. It is now finally finished and it's ready to be reviewed. As you saw in the first episode, we were having issues with getting the dial mounted correctly because the feet weren't lining up with the 4 o'clock position of the crown. It was making the 12 o'clock off centered. So what I had to do is order some dial dots, cut the feet off, and then I could mount the face correctly. And then in the course of putting the other hands back on, I had messed up when I put the seconds hand on, and it bent the center post of the movement. So I had to order a new movement. Then I wait for the movement to come in, so it got delayed. But it is done, completed. I've been wearing it for the past few days and it is absolutely awesome. I'm very happy with it. And we're going to go ahead and review, tell you what we did, what I think of it, give you all my impressions and what you think. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of it. So without further ado, let's get over to the bench and see what we think. All right, folks, so here we are. Obviously, I have two watches here. The one on the left is the Addidive Sea Hunter diver that I did a video on previously, where I modded out the dial and the hands, and I changed it to, some people in the comments said it's, oh no, it's a Willard. Well, you know, folks, it's not a Willard. Okay, I get it that it's, you know, everybody thinks that these cases are Willards. Not every single soft case like this that looks like a king turtle or a turtle is a Willard. Willard is a specific model number. It's like 61309 or 6103 or 6109 or something, 6105. I can't remember. So not every single one that's in a turtle case is a Willard. So it's 40 millimeter across, 20 millimeter for the strap case, and I believe it's 47 lug to lug. Crown is at the 4 o'clock, just like all the other turtles or Willards or whatever you guys want to call them. Willard is a specific model. This was one that was sold as Addidive sold as a clone of a Willard. You'll never hear me say homage, because homage means they took inspiration from and designed a watch and then created some inspirations of their own. This is an absolute replica of a Seiko turtle or Willard, whatever the hell you want to call it. But this one I cloned to be like a Willard. This is actually an actual factory Seiko dial and the Willard hands on it and the NH35 movement in it. This one gave me a little bit of a challenge because of the dial dots. I had to get them seated just right and get the dial to line up perfectly. So when you push it in the case, because these cases are kind of tight, it was moving the dial, which was starting to cover up the number. So I had to work on it. But this does have the ceramic bezel, which is loomed in blue. And it also has the sapphire crystal bezel. And then the hands and the indices are loomed in green super luma bright. Everything from the outside looks just like a Seiko Willard, except for when you flip it over, obviously, you know, you got the Addidive case on the back. I'm not going to change that. I'm going to leave it just the way it is. And I left the Addidive symbol on the side because I am in no way representing or pushing this off as a Willard. This is a clone to Willard. I do have actual Seiko king turtle that I actually wear all the time and love. Thought about buying the Willard, but you know, used market, you're looking at 600 if you could really find them, to, you know, maybe in the 800 to 1,000 range on the gray market, and new, you're still looking about 1,300 for a Willard. Just to say it's a Willard, and really the only difference between the king turtle and the Willard is the hands and the dial face. So no, I just figured I would just clone one, and that's exactly what I did. So I will change out the strap. The strap that it came on, I like the 60s style waffle strap, but the strap that it did come on is extremely cheap and needs to be replaced. And I will put a FKM rubber waffle strap on it, a high quality rubber one on it, to make it much nicer and more comfortable to wear. It is a very comfortable watch to wear. I've had no complaints on it. There's no rough edges on it. You've got polished on the sides, and then the top and the top side and the back side of the watch are brushed, so it kind of gives the nice look. It definitely has a military feel to it. Obviously, from the military side that were used by special forces, regular military, divers, Navy divers, and then obviously from Apocalypse Now, Captain Willard from the movie, which made it famous. But it is a good watch, folks. You can't if you're going to get into modding watches, probably the easiest way to start about doing is buy one that's kind of already inexpensive and already done. So all you have to do is change out the dial and the hands. You're not having to get into a lot of things, but overall, it turned out really, really well. I'm very, very happy with it. The dial is very, very nice. I did not go with a dial that is a replica Seiko dial that you can get very inexpensively off of AliExpress. This one is actually a true factory Seiko dial, so it was rather expensive. I think it was more than, yeah, the dial was actually more than the watch. The watch itself on Amazon, the time I purchased it was I want to say $9. The original hands from the other watch I didn't keep because the seconds hand broke, so I had to replace those. The new Willard hands from Mod Watches, I believe, was $20, and the actual Seiko dial was roughly $150. So all in on this one, Willard replica clone, I'm about 300 and change on it. Then when I get another strap, I'll be about 350 all in. And that's about what you could buy just a regular turtle from Seiko for. The regular turtle would not have the ceramic bezel. It would be an aluminum bezel, and it would not have sapphire glass. It would be hardlex or mineral crystal glass that you would get on it. Could I take this up another notch and change that to a Seiko crown? Absolutely, absolutely could, no doubt about it. I don't think you could get the case back to fit from a Seiko case back because the dimensions are different. A Seiko turtle is 42 millimeters across. I don't know if the diameter of the opening is the same. I'd have to actually measure mine and see. If it is, maybe I would get a Seiko backside case and put it on here. As you can see on this one, it's the same case. It's obviously not in brass or bronze because then they start to turn your skin green. So you'll never see all brass or bronze watches they'll always have stainless steel backs so that doesn't turn your skin green. Let me know what you guys think. Is this something you'd be interested in? If you want me to build you one, let me know. Hit me up. I can definitely build you one. They're not hard to do. It's just a matter of getting the parts and getting it put together for you. Otherwise, just go ahead and get the Addidive. If price is an issue, and I totally understand that. I mean, not everybody can afford to go drop $1,300 on a new Willard, $800 on a used one, and even a King Turtle will run you probably in the $550 to $650 range, maybe about $400 on the gray market. So I get why people buy these Addidives. I mean, the Seiko movement. So put a Seiko dial in Seiko hands, basically got a Seiko watch. I can't complain about them, but I'll never call them a homage because they're not a homage. I know, and people want to argue in the comments. Go ahead, just look up the definition of homage, and these don't fit the definition. They're a clone, and I'm okay calling them a clone, and I used to even say it's a clone. Nothing wrong with that. It is not being passed off as a legit Seiko Willard. It's just not. But I'm very happy the way it turned out. Very, very pleased. It wears very, very comfortably on the wrist. I'll put some wrist shots in here pretty soon. I can't really tell the difference in the wrist size when I'm wearing it between the actual Seiko King Turtle and this one. 2 millimeters is so small that it's not going to make a huge difference. And really, the difference on wearing a watch is not so much in the width as it is from the lug to lug and how it sits on the wrist, which makes all the difference. But again, I'm absolutely tickled how well it turned out. Moans and complaints. Probably the only moan and complaint I have is the strap. I mean, but most watch companies, Seiko specifically, that's where they cut their costs is in their bracelets or their watch straps, especially in their bracelets because they do them stamped. They're not high quality. So every watch has got to, save money somewhere, and it is in this strap. I don't even know if this is real rubber. This is probably just some kind of plastic, soft plastic, but it will get changed out. And this will definitely get some love and some wear time. It'll get some ocean time. It'll get some pool time. If I was still in the military and hadn't retired, it would definitely get some field time. Definitely get some field time in the field because that's what it is. It's a tool watch. It's meant to be used, abused, and loved, and it will get that. So again, tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Anything else you'd like to see me build? Give you my final reviews on the clone of the Willard, Captain Willard turtle. All right, folks, well, there you go. The clone of the Willard is complete. It is done. I'm ecstatic. I'm very happy with it. It couldn't have come out better. The only way it could have come out better if it was free, right? It was an actual Willard. But there you go. It just goes to show that you can build your own watches. You can do some more cool things with them and get something that really replicates and looks like what the original Seikos were. Definitely a clone. Not in any way possible like the original, but you know, price-wise, I get it. Addidive Steel Dive good watches. Not gonna knock them. But if you have the opportunity to buy the real thing, it's like owning the real thing. You know, you can have a Cobra and it be a replica car, but it's still not a real Cobra. So there's just the thing about owning the real thing versus not having the knockoff. But I get it. Price is always an issue with everything in life. You know, whether it be guns, cars, houses, anything. You know, there's always a trade-off. So thanks for watching the video. Give me that big thumbs up. Hit me that subscribe button. Let me know what else you'd like me to see. Let me know if you want to put a review of this watch in. Tell you what I got going on with that one. Again, thank you for watching Diving into Watches, and we'll catch you on the next one.